Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome back to Study Journey. Welcome back to the Python series. This is the first episode of the word game, and in this episode we're going to be doing the basic things and downloading the materials we need and getting familiar with what the game is. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, now we're going to start on the game. So first we had to understand what we're actually going to do and what materials we need. So if we go to my website, which is her STEM journey, and under the Python series videos, as we can see, it says the MIT OpenCourseWare Introduction to Computer Science and Programming in Python 6.001 assignments. And if we click on this link, this is where we're going to get our downloaded materials from. So from here, we can scroll down to the place where it says assignments, and then this is going to be problem set 3. In the previous episodes, we have done problem set 2, which is the Heyman game, and now we're going to be moving on to problem set 3, which is the word game. So I'm just going to click on this and then download file, and it is ps3.zip. So as we can see, we can open up our folder and it is already in a folder, and let's see where it is saved. So I'm actually going to copy this and then move this folder into my CS practice, which is where I keep everything. So I'm going to Command V, and then here is the PS3 folder. So as we can see, I already have a folder called PS3, so that's why this is called PS3 2. But I'm going to name it PS3.2 so it's easier to type when I use it. And then if we open it up, we can see that we have everything we need in this folder. So first we have the instructions, the ps3.py, which is our Python file where we're going to be running our code, and there's actually a test file, and then the words list, because this is also a word game similar to Heyman. Now let's open up the instructions and let's see what it wants us to do. So it says, in this problem set, you implement a version of the 6.001 word game, and so basically this game is a lot like Scrabble or letters, where letters are dealt to the player who then construct one or more words using their letters. And each valid word earns the user points based on the length of the word and the letters of that word. So it also gives you the game rules down below, and then as we can see, there's 2 parts, dealing and then scoring. So in the first part, dealing, it means the player is dealt with a hand of hand-sized letters of the alphabet. So basically, a user is given a set of numbers, whether it is 3 letters or 5 letters, and then the user has to arrange this into a specific order so that it creates a word. And then there can be letters remain unused, but the size of the hand when a word is played does affect its score. So this also gives you the scoring guide as to how we're going to score what the user has input. And as we can see, it says we have to find a dictionary Scrabble letters values that maps each lowercase letter to a Scrabble letter value. So if we go to ps3.py, as we can see on the top, it says Scrabble letter values, and it says that A has a value of 1, B has a value of 3. So for example, if I were to spell the word cat, it would be C-A and then T. So it will be, our total score will be 1 plus 1 plus 3 for this word. So that's 3, 4, 5 for this one word. And then there's obviously more components as to how we're actually going to calculate the score of the total score. So now that we have already downloaded anything, make sure not to change the words.txt file, because that is just a file with all the loaded words on it. And let's just run the PS3 to make sure it is working correctly. So I'm going to open my terminal and then first enter CS practice. And then from here, I have to enter the folder, which is called ps3.2. And then now that I'm in here, I can open the ps3.py. So this is a Python 3 file, and then ps3.py. And then this is what it should say. And if we compare it to what it tells you that it should say, we can see that these two are the same, so our game is running. Now that we have this running, we know that it is working, and we can start writing the code for our game. So there's a lot of definitions that they have already set up for us, and we just have to finish writing the code for this game to actually work. Now it also tells you that we have a test underscore ps3.py So if we open this, as we can see, this is also another Python file. And what this actually does is it tests the code for you. So this is the test code. And when we run a test underscore ps3.py, it should help us check each individual function and make sure each individual function is working. So if we run it right now, they should all print failure because it hasn't implemented the test underscore get word score. So our code isn't actually running, so it should print failure. So we have this test code file, and it is there so we can test our code along the way instead of waiting to finish the code before checking it. If our code passes this unit test, then there will be a success message. Otherwise, it will be a failure message indicating that we need to fix this code. So if I go to terminal, and I'm going to exit out of this. So I'm going to go over to my terminal, and this is a Python 3 file, and then this is test underscore ps3.py. Now I'm going to open it, and as expected, it says for each of the testing, so test get word score, it is failure. And for all of these, it is failure. So when we finish running this and we write our code and actually run it with the working code, it should say success instead. So now that we have checked everything, these are the ones that the test function has provided for us. So when we implement these functions, we should use this test code to actually check to make sure our function is working. And having a test code is really nice because having a code written out for you that will help you test your code to make sure it works is very useful. So we know exactly which parts we are missing and how to fix it easily. So now that we have finished looking through what we need and what this problem is actually about, in the next episode, we can actually begin our first problem, which is the word score.